Of course.
Ready? Okay. Try to get the community called to order. So present. But whether start off. And she did let us know that she will be absent. So. Get a motion to excuse her absence.
No, Christina.
Hello.
Oh,
No. No, Christina's not online. She's Susan Spear, MLP, Matt Lavington, Carrie Barnes, and someone's speaking. I don't know who it is, but I'm gonna mute everybody. No, so Christina Berkowitz called and is at the hospital with her father or something. So yes, both not here.
I would excuse both Christina and recently.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Discussion, if not. All those in favor? Aye. I will abstain since I wasn't here. All right, unscheduled citizen participation, anybody in the audience. Any conflicts of interest, is there any conflict? Yeah, I'm reading. So, at item of business, A, the David Haven Plan Development Amendment 3. There was her presentation.
It's a public hearing.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Based on the recommendation. That's
Yeah, we can do that.
fine. With that, you go ahead and open up. Public comments today. So, yeah,
We can have the public comment today and we can replay it if it is pertinent at the next. If you want, like, either way.
so just for the that's online and. Based on the staff report, the application was incomplete. Oh, and the notice, so it is being recommended that it. It's not time to complete the application, and so we can accept public comment tonight, if you guys would like. We're recommending a continuance until
First.
February 1st, so you're welcome to make public. Sorry.
Is there anyone on that has a public comment that would like, or do you want to wait until February 1st?
Can we ask some questions?
That's Carrie Barnes. This is for public comment first, and then
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
To answer questions.
mute everybody if otherwise unmuted. Yep, remuted everybody. And then there's no public comment that I see.
Okay, so. Yeah, I can have some questions, so maybe we'll defer to some questions. Carrie, do you want to go ahead and ask your questions?
Well, I think more so than anything, I wanted to hit the required information missing that you have here, because I think that we do have a lot of it, that a lot of it is in. And I think that we wanted to discuss or tell you our reason why we want to subdivide the property. I do know that I sent a cover letter on December 19th to Kim and the planning department, kind of giving our reasons for wanting to subdivide the property. And wanted to know if you had questions from us, and then just wanted to hit on some of these bullet points that you have to be clear, so that for sure we are prepared for if we have to continue this to February 1st.
Should that just be a meeting?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it would probably be best and most productive if you just work directly with Kim on the list of items that she's still.
Kim, you're really the only person that we can hear very clearly. Almost everybody else is kind of garbled.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was just saying that I think it would be best. Work directly with Kim on those systems required.
Okay, I only heard I think it would be best, and then I didn't hear the rest.
He said it would be best if you work directly with me to clarify any of those questions that you would have, and then we can prepare it better for the next meeting. But if you have something specific to ask them, feel free to go ahead and do that.
I think that the one of the main things that we wanted to ask would be to, well, first we want to state why we want to keep this portion of the property, and just kind of give you some information that we have been trying to sell the property as a whole. That wasn't working. We have buyers currently that are happy to buy the lodge only. And they are fine with not having the property behind that, because that would put their price at a higher purchase price. We personally would really like to hold on to that piece of property, because knowing how expensive everything is in Grand Lake, to be able to build a home that we already have property for is our primary goal. On that property during the summertime, the sheds become camping cabins for employees. So we have, over almost all the years, always had employee housing on that piece of property. Then Kim had brought up something about egress, if we wanted to build a home and then have a driveway coming in off of Karen's Avenue, and there was something about too much traffic and possibly not being able to do that. We would like to have those questions answered before we have to go to our surveyor and have him finalize all of these details. Let me see, there were some other questions here that Kim had put in. Statement of intentions with respect to the nature of future sales and or leases not shown. I really don't know what that means. Does somebody have an answer for that? That is letter G in the required information. Hello?
For this for you to answer your question. One moment.
And again, Carrie, I think this is where you can work directly with Kim outside of the public hearing and get the answers that you need.
Okay, so then, is it my understanding that the planning commission is really Kim? Kim is the one that's gonna to make all of these final decisions? I'm a little confused.
Until we receive a complete application and staff has a chance to analyze it, really review what you're proposing.
Okay, so so what you're saying is required information, missing information in bold. These are the items that you are wanting prior to meeting again. So the narrative, okay, so if I just go through required HOA signature and document, I do have a question for all of you. If we were to just create an easement, or I think that's what I would call it, an easement for the shed from parcel 4, would we not have to go through all of this other stuff as far as making it a little bit more difficult with the plat?
The problem is that this is a PUD, a PD. This
Okay.
PD is over the entire area, parcel 3 and 4.
Okay.
So any changes you make would actually affect the entire PD. So when you re-overlay and you change one part of it, you have to just basically reissue the entire PD. So if you change one thing on one side, it just reissue. You might not change anything on the other side, but you have to reissue it, showing that there were no changes on the other side, like one full overlay. So it doesn't, the fact that you're changing the boundary and you're trying to create another lot, you still have to issue a new PD that
Okay.
shows that change in that addition. And the
I got
PD
you.
requires all of these items to be checked off. So all of the items that are on this list, we've gotten some of them, we haven't gotten all of them. So they mostly just need to be notes on the amended plat that you will submit. Once I see that, I can look over it. I will have the check marks and off on all of the items that are missing or are not. And then I will give it to the planning commission, who will look at it and say, yes, we agree that all of these items have been checked off, and we motion yes or no.
Okay, okay, I see what you're saying. And do we have any kind of indication? You had told me, Kim, that possibly I might not be able to have a parcel 5 because it currently does not have a residence on it.
Parcel 5 currently has sheds on it. They are accessory structures. There are no, if you break off parcel 5 from the lodge, there will be no primary structure. Therefore, it would be a non-conforming lot that would be created. That could be addressed during this replat of this PD, and they could allow an exception to the non-conforming lot for a future housing development for your home and restrict it to the one home if they approve the PD.
Okay.
That's the order that would occur.
Okay. So it looks to me that I have a few more items. We've been working diligently, but we obviously did not get everything in that we had hoped to get in. So we are not that far off. February 1st is in approximately 2 weeks.
Correct. But I needed a few by like at least the Wednesday before that. So I have
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you, is exactly what would be the drop deadline date if I'm missing something. And then the other things, as far as all of the updates and everything that the surveyor will have to add in. So probably my best scenario is to come to you next week. And I guess I'm not prepared to have the surveyor add a dozen more items unless the planning commission is open to the concept. Are you guys okay with letting us build another home?
And again, I don't know that we're ready to review the application until it's being complete by staff. I realize you don't want to have to go to those next steps, but it is part of the requirement for an amended PUD.
Okay, I mean, it's really not that big of a problem. I'm just asking you upfront. And then is there anything that you have reviewed that that you see is not included in this list of things? Are there any missing items that anybody on the planning commission write out notices that I might be missing off of this sheet?
Building envelope does not have to be drawn.
No.
So
Yeah.
for the same, should not be.
And the setbacks are set with the PD already. So,
To show where.
no,
No,
it would be somewhere on parcel 5 within their setbacks. And the setbacks would be set by the zoning, this underlying zoning is resort zoning. They have a height restriction with the original PD of 28 feet, so it couldn't be over 28 feet, but no. You allow them to separate off and allow them an exception to having a parcel that has sheds without a primary structure, then they can build it in the future. And that's what,
It'd be put into the plan, so it's clear.
yes,
Land development and resort and zoning, the setbacks are, owners.
I think it's 10 feet and I don't have them offhand. I don't want to state what they are. I'm sorry. But they do have a setback off Cairns, I believe, is,
And I think they answered the question about do we have anything else other than your listing item? That was a very comprehensive list of things that need to be done and right off. Identify any additional things that I would say would be required. That is a big list and a lot to be done. And
We actually have, I'm sorry to interrupt. We actually have over 50% of this, probably about 75% of this is already done. So
Yeah. it'd be pretty
So-
straightforward. It should just be like a few items on the survey that just need notes at this point.
That would be my question. Can
Right.
it be done in a week?
yeah, that's,
Because I don't wanna be
Yeah.
here 2 weeks from now.
I know.
continuing again,
I don't
so.
either.
and yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was gonna say that, yeah, perhaps rather than February, possibly could be rescheduled for the 15th of February. If you needed that much time to make.
Oh,
it-
I think that we are pretty much on task. I would think February 1st would be fine for us. I should hopefully have everything that Kim has requested on this list because I already have about 70% of it. So I should have the other 30% into Kim, hopefully no later than the end of next week.
The problem is she needs it no later than Wednesday morning of next week.
Oh, I thought she said Wednesday, the Wednesday prior to the A week from yesterday is when you need it. Kim, you need it by next Wednesday?
Yeah, it's in a week. That's the week before the hearing.
Yeah, no, I will have everything to you by then at the latest and hopefully before.
The 25th.
Mhm. So if we could just be on the docket again for February 1st, that would be great.
Oh. Right.
So if we would like, we can have a motion to continue the public hearing until February 1st.
Sure, I'll make a motion with, planning commission to, continue the hearing. 8th, whether it be February. Later, depending upon the staff and, proponent,
We have to, sorry, we have to have a date certain.
and have,
We have to have a date certain
oh,
so
we
that
do.
anybody listening knows when the,
Okay, well, the proponent is, convinced that, they can complete everything, by February 1st, so. The motion, continue the hearing to February 1st, 2023. Upon completion of the, complete application. Having been submitted and reviewed by staff, making a recommendation. Planning commission to make a recommendation to the board.
all those in favor? Say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. 5-0.
Thank you, Carrie.
I'm just, can I just say something for those who are listening, my neighbors and things like that, that the plan for the people who are planning to purchase Haven is to just turn it into a B&B. And our plan is to just retain a piece of the property so that we can still be a resident of Grand Lake and have a home because we've been living in the lodge for 33 years. And that we can have our private residence still on the property of Haven.
Thank you. I'll put that on.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Are there any items for discussion?
Discussing for the next meeting. Probably the accessory dwelling units. And I happened to have a little bit of time. I thought would be most. A lot of issues there that are covered that. Be, would not be. An article written on the DIY channel, but I did send to her a link. I think it would be useful for us to maybe, Kim, I sent you just a very small part of it. But I went through and tried to highlight some of. I had not understood about being used that will come in. Most municipalities do not approve
What?
tiny homes.
Oh.
So many types of ADUs that are separated, the ones that are attached. Part of the main dwelling. lot of really good information.
Yeah, I'll supply that article that you sent me. I just didn't think we would have time because I thought this would be a longer.
I really did think you that time to do.
Yeah.
It was an interesting.
Because I don't know.
Whole thing is that we're going to have to write it in legislation.
Anyone else? No, because.
Who moved?
Who? You, okay, right.
I'll second it.
Judy.
Alright, let's do- for meeting adjourned, 7:01.
I just asked, since we're adjourned, is anybody else hearing a lot of complaints about the tubing hill?
It's always been there. There's.
Yeah. They call it suicide. But it's really, there's a lot of blood all over it. Yeah, it's fitting, but they said they, I mean, their kids struggled with it.
The meeting was adjourned.